Imagine a store where you could buy pretty much anything, including clothing, hardware, furniture, and appliances. Today, this isn't hard to believe, but in the 1950s and 1960s, a store called Two Guys did just that, with some locations even selling groceries too. Herbert and Sidney Hubschman of Harrison, New Jersey, got their start operating a snack bar at the RCA manufacturing plant in Harrison. They made friends with one of the executives, who offered to give Herbert a tour of the plant, where he spotted a room that had television sets that had been returned by retailers because of scratched cabinets. Herbert thought he could move these damaged sets, so he made a deal to buy them at a significant discount, and then he and his brother sold them in a nearby vacant lot with a $5 markup. They sold out that very day. So in 1946, with the relationship they had built with RCA, the two brothers decided to open their first store above a diner. Their business ended up doing really well, and their reputations grew. Other local appliance dealers became infuriated by their prices, and they began calling the brothers those two bastards from Harrison. Herb and Sid kind of liked the nickname, so they decided to taunt their competitors by actually naming the business the Two Bastards from Harrison. But when they tried to run newspaper ads, no one would print the name. So the name was shortened a bit and became Two Guys from Harrison, and the ads began to run in all of the newspapers. During the late 1950s, Two Guys from Harrison acquired the Vornado Appliance Company, and they started to open up outside of New Jersey. As they expanded, the name of the store was shortened even further to just Two Guys. Being ahead of their times, Two Guys even started selling groceries, which helped to increase traffic to the stores, and it became the template that many retailers would later implement. Many of the Two Guys locations were in upstate New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and parts of New England. The store was a retail star in the region, and was certainly a precursor to the supercenters that would begin to open over the next few decades. As the company entered the 1960s, they built bigger and bigger stores, averaging between 135,000 and 190,000 square feet by 1964. The newer stores initially had a variety of departments, but the core appliance and electronics offerings were the heart of the operation. Even many of the food departments that were available at some locations were beginning to be phased out, in favor of more appliances and soft goods. One of Two Guys' chief competitors at the time was a chain of stores called E.J. Corvette. Corvette too had issues with food sales and would follow suit with Two Guys and discontinue the sale of groceries. The Two Guys jingle that kept customers coming back again and again was "We save money for you at Two Guys, naturally." This slogan captured the essence of what the brothers had envisioned for their stores, but by 1964, both of them were no longer a part of the company. In 1963, Sid had resigned from Two Guys, and in 1964, Herb, who was the company chairman, passed away. Following his death, the company was sold to investors who began to make some questionable business decisions that jeopardized Two Guys. At its peak, there were over 100 locations of Two Guys that stretched all the way to California. In the late 1960s, Two Guys was merged with a grocery chain called Food Giant that was located in Southern California. Through the 1970s, Two Guys was doing pretty well, but their grocery store division struggled. The corporate executives at the company blamed the store managers. while the store managers pointed their fingers back at corporate. Needless to say, the financial problems with the food giant grocery chain led to problems with Two Guys. By the early 1980s, sales had declined to the point that they were losing money. This is when stores began to shut down. For Two Guys, the end was near, with the parent company realizing that the real estate the stores sat on was very valuable. Essentially, all of the locations were liquidated in 1982 to allow the company to switch industries and become a real estate management company. The once bustling retail store that was full of great deals and happy customers was reduced to a shell of its former self. With low inventory and poorly kept stores, shoppers found new places to spend their money. The bright and shiny new Kmart and Walmart stores filled the gap left behind by Two Guys. All that is left of the chain are the memories that you may have from shopping there. So let me know in the comments your own thoughts on cruising up and down the aisles of your local Two Guys. If you enjoyed this video, check out the description for links that help support the channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching.